Welcome back to the Shonen Jump review, where we are talking about everything coming out Shonen Jump, because boy oh boy have we got a lot to come out throughout the entirety of the next couple of weeks, as a bunch, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 6 series are coming out. And let's talk about the next iteration that's coming out, known as U19. And what does U19 stand for? Probably amount of chapters that it probably isn't going to have, as much as Shonen Jump are dicks, but let's hope on the side for this, but another action battle series is going to be coming out, and whether or not it will survive like Black Clover and My Hero Academia that has out the newest series, we'll honestly have to wait and see. But our main character's sort of gimmick is so it's a weird one, and honestly, like, the gimmick from like what this series is like, you know, in this, that is like, you know, the adults are evil, and they're like, no, they generally are evil and they're assholes, and it's just like, but the kids are the ones that have to suffer. And the whole thing with this is the fact is that this is like a couple of years in the future. I believe it's like 2036, so it's around about 20 years in the future, and around about 4 years currently in our timeline. This is where they made this big thing where it's like, yeah, we're gonna have this grown-up thing where like we're gonna have like stop people being like judged by like what kind of like sort of society for whether they're location, and the whole sort of like gimmick around about it is like, this is how we make the education system. Like, alright, we have this ranking system, and we get like this huge setup of like bureaucrat and like democracy going on. Hey guys, and all that. If you're an A rank, you can have everything. You have like less rules to worry about. You can do what the fuck you want. Like, you can live it like easy and all that. You got no restrictions. You're a civil surgeon, and like, you know, like, and like it goes all the way down to like F, I believe. And it's just like, and even like with our main like character who's like, no, fuck you, fuck the rules, man. And it's just like the fact that is like, I believe his name was like Eiji Kudo, and like his whole thing is like, oh, like, it's a weird thing, and he's like, no, fuck you, how can you act when I'm like, my dad is a D rank, and you know what, he works his fucking ass off and all that. Like, just that's how he works around it. It's like, you know, like, do you people like just acting like entitled pricks because you're like, oh, this is how we are, like, you know, I got an A rank, so how people are. And this is why like kids are like, we just gotta keep our nose, you know, you just gotta keep your nose down, all that. I mean, the fact that this dude like started off there saying like, oh, your hair's too long, and grabs like a bitch and stuff, like literally shaving her hair, and it's like, oh, she's now bald, and it's like, that would traumatize someone if they actually did that. And the fact is that not only did it have to of like how exactly it was handling its material, and the fact is like, this didn't even, it's an action series from where it sounds like it's going from, but it didn't have any action. The entire first chapter was more setting up the world, setting up like maybe a little bit about the character AG. And with this whole power known as like it's a special power that awakens if people have been exposed to like extreme stress, and like it's apparently manifests like especially in self in kids, and like this whole group that's like, no, fuck the adult sort of thing that we're going around. There's like these kids known as like the garage kids and all that other ones, and like there was some cool designs. I saw like a bancho and they're looking pretty beastly and like stuff like that. I was like looking forward to it, and like even like with the fact of like, you know, like a lot of the other things, like I feel like there was some interesting parts, but a lot of it was like maybe it didn't help with the whole school like escalate, like a lot of them didn't help with the whole school like escalate, like a lot of them did, but it felt like it was kind of like just the libido was quirks, but it's like, oh, they activated that and they had one different gimmick. Maybe that's just me on there, like honestly I just didn't feel like that. Maybe it honestly just was like some parts of the series, like the chapter and all that. Maybe it was like, because it is a slow chapter, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and there was some things that were a little bit saying like, oh, like the main character has like a lot, you know, love interest with his childhood friend, and it's just like, oh, this is like girl and all that. Like Akari is my like foundation. She's all happy, and she's like, oh, my mom and dad are just, you know, run of the mill. They keep me on the straight and edge and the narrow, and it's just like there was stuff on here where it was like, oh, okay, and like you find out immediately how he got the scar on his face is where like he told one guy like pretty much go get fucked, and like he like literally sliced him up, and like, wow, no wonder he hates the system if, like, he's getting, like, cut up and stabbed and, like, you can get away with that. Like, that's the kind of fucked up thing about it. And, like, kind of how the chapter ends is the fact that it's like, we're gonna do this gene thing, where it's a gene screening, and we're gonna see, like, you know, potential and all that, saying, like, this is how, like, you know, our rankings are. It's like, I'm gonna show you right now. Look at me. I'm an A rank. I'm so good. And it was showing, like, other people saying, like, oh, you're a D, you're a B, and, like, the whole thing is Akari, which was one thing where it's like, that could not possibly be the thing itself. Like, it was, especially where they were like, oh, AG, he isn't going to reveal what kind of person he is or anything like that. Whereas, like, oh, I don't care about what my rank is and all that. And saying, do you want to see your results aren't in yet? And we find out immediately that his best friend is triple S rank God King, where it's just like, oh yeah, that's why. And the guy, like the fucking, like the man that came in, and he was just like, had this really berserk rape face. Like there was no other, it was just, it was way too detailed, and it looked like you was now like a Pendo, that it looked really scary. And I was like, it's just out of like how timid like the art style has been from there, and you just see that face, and I was like, oh, that looks fucking horrific. And the fact is, like, the whole ending of the chapter is like, oh, didn't you hear about, like, what's happening to your friend right now? Akari's going to be transferring to another school right now. And, like, seeing that, and it was just like, oh, that's the case. And it was just like, his whole thing, like, after finding out that he's transferring, is like, you just triggered this power inside of you. And that's how the chapter ended. So right there, that's how his libido, like, activated. And it's like, you see, like, this whole, like, string kind of sewing thing that heing got, like, coming out of his fingers. So I imagine, like, even though we saw on the front cover, that's his power. Like, he's probably has something to do with, like, string or something. That's going to be his ability or something on the matter. But yeah, like, honestly, it's like, when I think about the whole libido is like over extreme stress, and there was set up saying if anyone was able to awaken this power, it might be you. And it's like, well, it's like, it's overall, I'm not like, if your friend that's transferring to a school, I don't think that would be the cause to get superpowers for the most part, but fuck it, it's anime and manga at the end of the day, so something like that can trigger your powers. Other than that, like, honestly, there wasn't too much, like, special about, like, a lot of the chapter. Like, if anything, this, although I do praise it for it, is, like, a lot of the chapter was just spending time building up the world and building up, like, society and stuff. And I was like, that was something different. It didn't have to, like, immediately pull out all the fighting stuff, but I am curious where it's going to be going, because it clearly is, like, heavily hinting at the fact that it's going to be turning into an action series, and that they're going to have these quirk-like powers. And it honestly feels like it's going to have, like, a My Hero Academia thing it was trying to do, where it's like, oh, like, you know, these kids and all that had kind of like special powers. But like, from what we can clearly see and all that, is like, it's more, instead of like it's school kids wanting to become heroes, it's more like school kids like trying to fight against like grown-ups. It's like, no, fuck you grown-ups for the most part. And overall, like, I'm interested to see where it goes and all that, but it's like, I think I need more. This is one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna need like maybe one or two more chapters to find out whether or not I'm actually gonna care about this, because so far the first chapter I was like, it was fine, but then again, it wasn't anything that blew me away. And that was the kind of thing where I was like, that was the problem I've had so far with both the last thing that we had, like where we had that study like from the assistant of Nisekoi, like we never learned, and this, they haven't blown me away. There hasn't been anything so far where I've been like, you should definitely read it, like definitely get like a jump like description out of this, because apart from that, like I'm looking at the list right now: One Piece, My Hero Academia, Promised Neverland, Black Clover, Food Wars, you know, and that's the list right now of stuff that we got. Even like Ruby chapters, like that's not a lot to really like go on there. And I heavily support, I still say you should get one and all that. They do add a lot of things on there, but so far it's like, this is not the more than addition to have this right now. And I'm like, I don't know, it's just like, so far like U19 and We Never Learn haven't fully amazed me. But then again, like what we saw from U19, it was a very slow chapter. I am looking forward to see if it picks up a little bit more and all that. But from what I can say, I was way more impressed with Promised Neverland with its first chapter, and damn straight, I still think that's one of the best things coming out right now, the newest stuff. But I really, really hope, and it makes me kind of worry and all that, because the Beelzebub guys one is next and all that. I really want to know if that's going to be good or not. Please, can that be good? Because I really want to see like Hungry be something. But the next one that we should be having on the list, though, after this, should be Demon Fred's Porous Diaries, and then after that it's going to be Hungry Mary, then Dr. Stone, and then the last one is going to be from the creator from Kuroko is going to be like his like last work and all that. So I hope. Other than that and all that, it hasn't, like, I do like some of the art style to it, like here and there and all that. I did like kind of like the face and all that. overall and all that, I just wasn't blown away by it. So other than that, like that, it's like out of the possible things that we've had so far, 2 out of the 6 and all that, like them being consistently like that, haven't blown me away. So I really do hope that the next couple of ones, I'm not having any faith really in Prince Boris Diaries, like, but I'm really hoping at least the last couple of series like that, Hungry Mary, Dr. Stone, and maybe even the Kuroko guy and all that, that they at least release some interesting mark on there. We'll have to wait and see. But that is all from me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. What did you think about U19? You think I'm talking out my ass? Because overall, I think it was a 6. I think it was fine, but I definitely will stick to my guns and say it was a very slow start for a first chapter, and definitely I will give this another chapter or 2 and all that, see where it goes, and if it doesn't pick up, then I'm just not going to read any more of it. That's just simple as that, and I just can't, I don't know, like, so far and all that hasn't done anything where it's like, it's going to be like, oh, surviving, like, out of the, like, the huge, like, slaughter that a Jump gets, but we'll wait and see. All from me, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.